Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you missed last week's episode, we continued on from Delta Junction, Alaska to Fairbanks, Alaska. This 95-mile leg of our journey brings our total miles traveled since leaving Arizona to just over 4,300 miles. We stayed at the Chena River State Rec Site in Fairbanks and took you along as we visited Santa's summer home. If you've been following along with our journey to Alaska, we thank you. If you're new here, welcome. We're glad you've joined us. And while you're thinking about it, go ahead and subscribe and click on that little bell to get notifications when we upload new videos. We have a ton of Alaska adventure ahead that you won't want to miss. This is episode number 14. We love discovering local attractions, so we were excited when some folks in the campground recommended a tour on the Riverboat Discovery 3, a Chena River paddle wheel riverboat excursion operated for the past 70 years by the Binkley family. The Binkley family's steamboating tradition goes back over 100 years and 5 generations. In 1898, when Charles M. Binkley hiked over the Chilkoot Pass with other stampeders, he was not so much in search of gold as he was the chance to build and operate boats on the Yukon and its tributaries. He became a respected pilot boat builder in the North. His son, Captain Jim Binkley Sr., followed in his father's footsteps and piloted freight vessels on the Yukon and Tanana Rivers in the 1940s. As transportation systems changed in the North, railroads and airplanes began to carry much of the freight. In 1950, noting the coming changes in the freighting business, Captain Jim and his wife Mary began a river excursion business, focusing on sharing their love of Alaska and its culture with visitors. Come along with us as we show you just a glimpse of the Riverboat Discovery River Excursion, visit a Chena Indian village, and learn a bit about life in Alaska and some of the traditions of the native Athabascan peoples.
They weren't sure if this was going to work or not. I mean, a guy had knocked on their door and said, "Jim, I bought a bunch of buses, I don't know why, but I thought I'd bring people to Fairbanks, and if you'd start a boat ride, well, we'd have something to do." Now, can you imagine an idea like that? Arriving in a bus and going for a boat ride? Kind of strange, isn't it? And here we all are 69 years later.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trailbreaker Kettle. What a glorious day we're having today on the banks of the Chena.
Hi. Look at this. Yeah, nobody's yapping now, are they?
You know, after every run, you want to make sure the dogs know how much you appreciate their hard work. So everybody, as you can see, gets a pat on the head, and then, of course, just like us, everybody loves to play.
After the short dog sled demonstration, we pulled up alongside the recreation of a Chena Indian fish camp. This is an excerpt from the description of fish camp life as told by our young native narrator.
Those canvas wall tents you see there are what we would stay in during the summer. Closest to me is the outdoor air drying rack, where we hang the salmon before placing it into the smokehouse. The smokehouse is the key to turning the salmon into a fully preserved food source. Once the salmon is done smoking, we would then store it in the cache. The cache is that little cabin up on stilts to keep animals from getting into it.
One part of this excursion we found really interesting was the stroll around the Chena Indian village. This is a mock-up of a real village, but still pretty neat to see how the natives lived in Alaska.
Modeling a Yukon-style women's winter parka. The main main body of the parka is a beaver, and as you can see, we sheared it for design. It's trimmed with timberwolf and river otter. But now she's going to show us that beautiful sunshine ruff. Now you see why it's called the sunshine ruff. It does represent the sun. The outer part of the ruff is timberwolf, and closest to her pretty face is Wolverine. Wolverine was always sewn closest to the face because it had a natural oil in it to prevent frostbite. And these are Wolverine tips with timberwolf. Leah would sew these on to show everyone that her man was a skilled hunter and he caught that tricky Wolverine.
We had a great time exploring the Chena Indian Village and learning about the Alaskan way of life. Wow, their day-to-day lives have really evolved over time. This was just a snapshot of the Riverboat Excursion, and we recommend checking it out for yourself when you visit Fairbanks. Time flew by, and it was soon time to board the boat and head back down the river and on to our next adventure. One of our bucket list items for Alaska was the 10K Midnight Sun Run in Fairbanks. If you're going to be kept up half the night by the never-ending sunlight, then you might as well party with a few thousand fellow insomniacs. Hey there.
Hi.
So we're here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks for the Midnight Sun Run, right?
Starts at 10 p.m.
Starts at 10 p.m. It's about 8:30 right now, and you can kind of see there's a crowd growing.
3,500 people, I think.
So there's about 3,500 people or so that take part in the race, and it's a 10K, right? They have a marathon too, or just a 10K? I think
I'm not sure.
just a 10K. Anyway, so we're going to take part today, and you can tell how light it is out here. It'll be this light at midnight when the race is over, but we'll show you some shots around, and then we'll recap at the end to see how exhausted we are. A friend of ours said, she's an avid runner, she said if you can run a 5K, you can run a 10K. Well, we've never run a 10K, so we'll see how right she is.
Well, I'm going to walk it. I'll be there eventually.
I'm going to run as much as I can, but anyway, we'll see you at the end of the race. Ready? How to? Now it's time for water. Five. First 10K in the books.
We did it.
48. First 10K. We won't talk about time, but I finished.
Under 2 hours.
Under an hour and a half I finished. I don't know exactly what the time was. You finished under 2 hours.
Yeah, I jogged a little bit because it hurt to walk.
Yeah. Now it's going to hurt to stand up.
Yeah,
But
know, it was worth it, I think.
Yeah, it was a blast.
The Silver wasn't that hard.
Oh, bucket list item? Check. What time is it?
12:51.
It's 12:51, so it's 1 a.m.
1 a.m. in the morning.
And we pulled an all-nighter. You can see the sun's starting to come up. You can see back there it's a little pink. I'm not sure if the sun's still going down or if it's coming up, but anyway, we're heading to the truck. We're gonna go home and
Eat.
lick our wounds and eat.
I had a blast.
Yeah, it was fun. Everybody partying on the street.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Was like, they really get into it. It was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, all right, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.